am so happy that you're here today with me. Happy 4th of July and happy 4th of July month. I hope everybody enjoys the warm weather and I hope we get sunshine and I hope everybody's able to celebrate with their friends and family and celebrate our country. So happy, happy, happy that you guys are here. Before we get started today, I did want to share a few Alma Pro updates with you. The Ask Nikki Zoom will be held on Wednesday, July 17th at 6 p.m. Central. So I hope that you guys can join. The member discount for this month is going to be 25% off of a spiritual healing session, and I hope that you guys take advantage of that. A healing session really is just a process that when I connect with your spirit, I try to go through all 5 of your bodies and figure out where things may or may not be stuck based on your situation or any challenges that you have in your life. And sometimes one of the issues that you might be struggling with could be stuck in either the emotional body or the physical body or the mental body. And so the idea is to try to discover that when we're doing a healing session. So I hope you guys do take advantage of that. And I hope that we connect for a healing session. You can find that, of course, when you log on in the book online section. Just look under healing session and you'll be able to schedule that way. The coupon code for the healing session is located on the main Pure Soul Premier member page, so you'll be able to find it there. I also wanted to let you guys know that coming up in the next couple months, I'll kind of be changing things up a little bit for the Pure Soul Premier membership team or the group, all of us together. I have found that when I pick a topic, because I spent a couple weeks trying to decide what topic to discuss with you guys or what spiritual focus to share with you. And since the beginning of the year, this year, I thought I would share the Beatitudes with you. And so we got through, I think, the first 6 Beatitudes, and I was really excited by your feedback, and I was really excited about the emails that I received from a few of you telling me that you really enjoyed that series. We are going to take a break on that, and maybe in the next several months, we'll discuss the other 6 Beatitudes. But this month, I really wanted to kind of talk about some of the things I've been noticing as I've been doing the Pure Soul membership, and also some of the things that my clients have been talking about. So, what I wanted, what I have figured out, or what I have found, is that like I said, I'll spend a little bit of time trying to figure out what topic or what spiritual focus to share with everyone, and I pray about it and I meditate about it. And I ask people if they have any ideas of things that they want me to discuss, but it always kind of just comes to me, or it's kind of like my heart feels like this is what I should be talking about. And that's exactly how it went with the Beatitudes. But what I started to notice over these last couple years that we've been meeting for the Pure Soul is that when I'm getting ready to speak about a topic and I talk about the topic and I create the video, and then I go and I draw a tarot card for the month for all of us, I have found that the tarot card and what the tarot card represents is actually either exactly what I'm talking about in the spiritual focus topic, or it aligns right with it. So the 2 separate things that I'm discussing actually are the same thing. So sometimes when I'm getting ready to talk about the tarot card that we drew, I find that I've already discussed a lot of the concepts in that while I am discussing the spiritual focus topic. So moving forward, I am going to combine those 2 videos. I'm going to draw a tarot card, and then I'm going to go through the tarot card and how that relates to us. And that is our spiritual focus topic, because I keep kind of doubling up on myself and then thinking, well, what can I share about this tarot card if I already talked about it in the spiritual focus topic? So along with that, I will actually be modifying the website and the Pure Soul membership page over the next couple months. I don't know how fast I'll be able to do it, but I'm going to try. So I will hope that you guys will enjoy it like this. And please Feel free to always provide feedback or any constructive criticism that you have, or if you have any ideas of things you want me to talk about or to focus on, I would love to do that. And I'd be happy to receive that input from you. So feel free, because I feel like this is a community of all of us together. And I want to make sure that we all have a voice at the Pierre Soul community. So thank you for that. And you can always just shoot me a text or send me an email. And yeah, that would be great. So now I thought that we could get going on the spiritual focus topic and the tarot card draw for the month of July. The tarot card that we drew for the month of July is the High Priestess. But the High Priestess is the second card in the major arcana. And this card symbolizes a deeper knowledge, a deeper intuition. It also symbolizes like going beyond the surface level. So she's really often depicted like sitting between those two pillars that you can see in the card, and it represents duality and balance. And there's this veil that is behind her, which signifies like the unseen or the hidden knowledge. And she's really mysterious, the high priestess, because she doesn't really give much away, but she has a deeper knowledge and she's very observant. And she likes to kind of look a little bit behind what nobody else really sees. The high priestess is very intuitive and she has an inner wisdom that is tried and true, I guess you can say. She's been through a lot of things, and going through the things that she went through and following her soul and following that inner guidance has really promoted in her a lot of inner wisdom. Um, so much that the subconscious mind can't really dominate her. What really she leans on is her inner knowing and her inner communication and listening to her higher self. And this card really tells us that we should trust our intuition and trust our inner voice. And my suggestion to that is always, if you don't know if you can trust your inner voice, then test it. And like I said, the high priestess is very mysterious and she has a lot of secrets, and the need to look beyond the obvious to uncover deeper truths is like her mission. So she doesn't want to, if you say, "How are you?" and then the response is fine, that wouldn't be enough for the high priestess. The high priestess, this card symbolizes someone who will dig a little deeper, ask a little bit more relevant questions to pull out deeper inner truths for you. If you notice at the bottom of the page, at the bottom of her card, there is like a crescent moon at her feet. And this really talks about the divine feminine and the cycles of the unconscious mind and how the unconscious and conscious mind feed and work off of each other. She is the water element, and the water element is always associated with emotions, which is connected to our sacral chakra, intuition, the nature of inner knowledge. She is a very, very patient individual. She embodies passivity. She's able to be quiet and she's able to be with herself. And it's really important for her to wait for the right moment to act on things or to take any action on things or even to bring it to the forefront for others. If you want to, connect with someone who is like representative of the high priestess, you're going to have to dig a little deeper and ask a few more questions. And then when you do that, you'll notice that it just kind of opens up and automatically starts to unfold naturally. So our connection to the divine is really important. And the high priestess is seen as a mediator kind of between the earthly realm and the spiritual realm. And she connects us really strongly to spiritual knowledge. So it's important, if you're trying to strive to emulate some of the qualities of the high priestess, education and study is important, because you should take time to sit down, to reflect, to study, to research, to educate yourself on a deeper knowledge, to kind of reflect in your mind and go through some of your life experiences that you have had, whether they're positive experiences or negative experiences, and see how that plays out in your everyday responses. Because sometimes we have trauma responses that are connected to past experiences. And if you can identify what those points of trauma are in your life, you may notice that when you're experiencing a stressful time or an abrupt type of challenge that just kind of jumps at you, you'll notice that you have a standard response. And sometimes those standard, well, always, those standard responses are really connected to a previous trauma that we experienced. And so it's really important that we pay attention really strongly to the connection between our emotional self and our spirit self, knowing that our emotions are, once we have an emotion and that emotion kind of drops in our lap, like we have an experience that happens, and that experience prompts an emotion. Before we struggle too hard with that emotion, if we can dig a little deeper and ask ourselves, when have I felt this before? How old was I when I felt this before? What experience made me feel this way before? And what you'll notice is that you can have the same intensity feeling or the same intensity of that emotional response for today's situation, but it's actually the situation from many years ago that is indicative of the response you're having. So just kind of ask yourself, is the today's situation, is that really as significant as the trauma I had when I first felt this feeling or when I first felt this emotion? What that does is it helps us to really balance the conscious and the unconscious mind, because the conscious mind has a situation happen. And then, of course, we have an emotional response to that, or we have some kind of response to that. And a lot of times we don't know that behind that response, oh my gosh, there's a world of information. And that's what the high priestess really wants us to talk about. She teaches us to go deeper than the conscious mind. I feel this way. Why do you feel this way? When did you feel this way before? How has it impacted your life? And how is it currently impacting your life? And do you want to give it this much power or this much dominance over the current situation? And when you do that, it really, really, I mean, it shakes you up a little bit, because you start to realize that we only have a feeling one time, and then something triggers that same feeling over and over and over and over. So what we come to find out is that we're not really dealing with any situations. We're just dealing with recurring emotions that happen to jump up and bite us in our ass when we don't know where they initiated, where they came from, or how we responded to that, because we never really took time to go back and check that out. So I really encourage you to do that. That's what this card indicates that we should do. This card also invites you to embrace patience and stillness and prayer or meditation. Basically, anything that will allow you to listen to your inner voice and connect with your higher self. Sometimes it's through meditation, sometimes it's through prayer, sometimes it's through a hobby. Maybe you really like gardening, or you really like working on cars. And so when you're very deep into that hobby, you're kind of sharing a no time type of experience with your spirit. And in that time and that experience, you'll receive inner thought, inner communication, and inner knowledge. And that's really what this card urges us to pay attention to. So, to fulfill the guidance of the high priestess, you really have to create that practice of introspection, meditation, prayer, seeking knowledge beyond the surface and going deeper than the current situation at hand, because that's really going to open up a lot within you and open up a lot of clarity, because you're going to see some repetitive responses and repetitive complaints and repetitive repetitive traumas actually, but all of them, most of them only boil down to a few standard emotions that we typically feel. And this card encourages you to go deeper and find that. And by honoring that intuition and honoring your inner knowing, you can navigate way better your personal journey, and it'll be clear, and you will have a lot of spiritual awareness if you have the ability to do that. And, when I was trying to decide what topic to talk to you about, to talk to the Pure Soul members about, what came to me was that a lot of my clients have been telling me, I just feel stuck. I just feel stuck. I don't really have any motivation. I'm not really finding the joy I used to find. And I just feel kind of like everything is Groundhog Day. And I wanted to talk to you guys about that. And one of the things that I thought was really important to discuss there is how to go beyond the surface, to go deeper, to take today's situation and then make that situation kind of the overlay of the emotion that you're actually feeling and the response that you're actually having. And so when I drew the high priestess, I was like, no way, that's literally what I wanted to talk about, because I've been finding that so many people are struggling so much with that feeling of lack of motivation and feeling stuck in their life, or like the wheels are turning and turning and turning, but like we're not getting anywhere. And that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. So that's when I decided what I wanted to talk about, and then I saw the card that we pulled for the Pure Soul. I was like, oh my God, I just have to combine these two things because the topic and the tarot card are like literally exactly the same. So as a result of drawing that card, um, I kind of thought, okay, so this card tells us to go deeper, go beyond the surface, dive a little deeper into our emotional responses and previous times that we have felt that way, instead of really paying attention to so much the current situation, because we're looking for these repetitive responses. And that's really what we want to focus on. Whatever triggers it, 1,000 things could trigger it. We just want to find the first time that we felt that way, so we can so we can not let that trauma response take over us. So I thought what I would do is I would draw two additional cards to go along with the high priestess, because since the high priestess is the major arcana card, it's like, hey, you want to develop this practice so you can use it in so many areas of your life. It's not like a one and done. Anytime you are doing the tarot cards and you choose a major, a major arcana card comes out, that's like the umbrella, the big lesson, the life event. And then all the minor arcana cards, those cards really discuss how to get there, how to do these things. So, along with the high priestess, I drew two more cards. The first card I drew to go along with it was the Two of Pentacles, and the second card I drew was the Eight of Wands. So, let me talk about the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles in the tarot represents balance, adaptability, and the ability to manage multiple responsibilities simultaneously. And this card really, if you look at it, it depicts a person juggling two pentacles, really saying, hey, this is about balance. This is about being able to handle a few different things at the same time and being able to do it gracefully. If you'll notice the position and the character of the Two of Pentacles, it just seems very easy and very easily flowing and very graceful. And so when I look at the high priestess and I say, okay, our overall lesson here is that we have to go deeper. We have to go into our intuition. We have to take these human experiences that happen and we have to dive into more introspection about those. And a lot of times when I tell people to like take the time and really dive a little deeper, they tell me, oh my gosh, I really don't have time to do that. Like I have, and I get it because I have like 10 dogs and I have a house and I have to cook dinner and I have all these things I have to do. So adding one more thing to my schedule sometimes feels a little overwhelming. And I'm telling you that the Two of Pentacles says that you can do it. So it says that you can take the time to do it and you can handle it and you can pay attention to this while you're in your everyday life. So you should be able to do it gracefully. This Two of Pentacles says that we'll be able to do it gracefully. Start slow. Just listen to that inner guidance. Listen to that inner communication that happens and start there and do that a couple days and then just do that, here and there, and your spirit isn't going to bother you all day about it, but she is going to pop a few things and give you some inner guidance. So when that happens, pay attention to it and kind of just let it flow for you and leave it up to your soul to tell you that inner guidance at the time it needs to. And that's how you'll be able to handle it because it'll just flow. So don't try too hard. Just do it when your soul tells you to do it, which again is the inner guidance. So, um, this Two of Pentacles really says that even though you might be facing a lot of demands or challenges, you do have the ability to maintain equilibrium. You have the ability to keep things in motion. You have the ability to grow and to discover more about yourself. Even if you got to go to work tomorrow, even if you got to take the dog for a walk, even if you have to balance your checkbook and your bills, you still have the ability to do this. So this card says, to be adaptable to your soul and kind of balance your spirit body relationship. The next card I drew was the Eight of Wands, which signifies everything is happening really, really fast, swift progress and huge energy and surges of energy. I love the Eight of Wands because it encourages us almost with enthusiasm. You kind of look at that card and there's like eight wands flying around the air, and it means that things are happening quickly, but there's a good momentum and the momentum is building. So keep that in mind as you're listening to your inner guidance, because at the beginning, it sounds just real quiet, do your laundry or, hey, buy that pretty shirt. You get these inner promptings that sometimes it's so quiet we can't even hear it. But the Eight of Wands tells you, just start because it's going to pick up pace. You're going to start to recognize that you feel it more and more and that you recognize it more and more. So the Eight of Wands is a good card to have along with the Two of Pentacles. That kind of stem from the High Priestess. So the High Priestess again being our kind of overall lesson, and the Two of Pentacles saying we can handle it. We can do this gracefully. We can allow our spirit to kind of guide us in that fashion. And then once we do that, the Eight of Wands tells us we'll pick up some momentum there and we'll be able to handle it. So that is our discussion for our Pure Soul members today. And I hope that you guys liked that. And I hope that this is beneficial for everyone. This way we can get all of our information in one video instead of me being repetitive in two separate videos that are telling us the same thing. Isn't it just weird how the universe works, really, though? That, like, I swear to God, I swear to God, you guys, I will pick a spiritual focus topic and then write it all up and pray on it and jot it all down and make notes so that when I talk to you, it sounds pretty coherent, hopefully. And then I'll draw the tarot card after that and then turn over the tarot card. And I'm like, no, you've got to be kidding me. So I'm going to try it this way for a few months and let's see how it goes. Thank you so much again for being here. I love you guys. And I hope to see you on July 17th, Wednesday, for the Ask Nikki at 6 p.m. Central. And bye bye. Be blessed.